Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here with us for Translocalia, Planning for Biodiverse City Through Art. On the occasion of Innovate for City conference, we would like to present the work of two artists on the theme of biodiversity in urban context. The program will focus in particular on interspecies communication, adaptation process of other species, collective behavior for the ecological transition, and the transformation of our cities through a multi-species perspective. We are very happy to have the opportunity to present our projects in such an inspiring context. And for that, we would like to thank first of all, the Mutant Institute of Environmental Narrative of Matadero, Madrid, Innovate for City, as well as the UN Habitat, the Global Covenant of Mayors, and all the organizers that made this possible. I am Lavinia Filippi, co-founder with Amanda Masha Caminals of Translocalia. Today, I will be presenting our project with two great artists with whom we worked in the past and with whom we are planning for a more inclusive, sustainable, and aesthetically meaningful future through art. Hello, Michaela and Paula.
Hello.
Hello.
Well, let me introduce ourselves. I'm a London-based independent curator and art historian. In the past year, I worked as curator, a lecturer, and writer between Pakistan, Italy, and the UK. Michaela De Mattei is currently based between London and Milan. Her fictional narratives explore connections between humans and nature and the ever-changing relation to our ecosystem. Paula Nishijima is currently based in Amsterdam. She also has a research-based practice that often unfolds at the crossroad of science, technology, and participatory social practice or experience. I will start by introducing Translocalia, and then Michela and Paula will guide us through their practice and share some of their works during this virtual studio visits. So Translocalia is a translocal network that connects practitioners and institutions from different disciplines and fields of actions, such as art, curating, activism, and architecture. Its aim is to discuss, share, and plan together for an inclusive, sustainable, and aesthetically meaningful future through art. The project was born in 2014 with the support of the Royal College of Art, the Embassy of Brazil, and the Italian Cultural Institute in London. It was also endorsed by the World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis, the National College of Art in Lahore, and MACBA Barcelona. From 2021, Translocalia is a proud partner of the New European Bauhaus. And as you probably know, this EU project is a think, do, tank to make the Green Deal a cultural, positive, and tangible experience. And as part of Translocalia's proposal for the NEB, the New European Bauhaus, we recently launched a series of online residency. And the artists in residence on our Instagram account are anticipating some of our lines of research and action in urban contexts, such as a living system architecture, collective behavior for the ecological transition, and interspecies communication. Paula Nishijima was our first artist in residence. And so I think you could maybe start by sharing one of the contribution to the residency. The contribution was part of a long-term research that Paula has started in 2019. And the name of the research is Game of Swarms. And she has been studying social insects and their behavior to understand how we collectively behave, and maybe to draw some lines between social insects and humans, I believe. So
thank you.
Maybe we can see the work, and then you can talk a little bit tell us a little bit more about it.
Yes.
Thank you, Lavinia, for the introduction. So I'm going to share, this is the first register for the online residency with Translocalia. And then after these, I'm going to explain a little bit more about the project.
Of sensorial apparatus in itself. Ants were part of my domestic life in Brazil. It is common to encounter one or many around the food, especially during the warm tropical days of my country. I never could rationally describe their smell, but I knew when some piece of my cake was touched by them. A punch of peculiar sort of varnish odor was present. I observed in the very first days of this ant farm that they rapidly dug the gel to build their tunnels and chambers. I learned that they prefer shadowy places. That's why their network is in the underground, which is a funny metaphor for against enlightenment. Many can see in the dark, but rather feel. Ants recognize each other by their smell, which is shared by the whole colony once it is an established one. This unique collective scent usually prevents other animals from joining the crew, as some ants protect their house from possible invaders. There are some exceptions though. The premise about self-organization, emergent behavior, or swarms is that the local interactions among individuals of the group generate a global effect. I like to think of this collective scent as the global harmony of individual smells, or the multiplicity coexisting through their scent compose one superorganism. I lived with different people whose smell I could distinguish from my own. They were my family, housemates, or friends, meaning that we were part of the same group, temporarily or not. But it's hard to think that human individuals can share the same smell. Instead, we share images, posts, tags, stories, everything that is digital and devoid of sensorial apparatus in itself, not in effect, especially during a lockdown.
Okay. So this is the first piece for the online residency. So the idea was actually to create some more spontaneous videos of this ant farm, which is the more object piece of part of the series Game of Swarms. So I have been studying like social insect and also some kinds of slime modes since 2019. I'm interested in the collective behavior, the self-organization, and also other features of the swarm, and to use and provoke some reflections about how we understand our culture, how we live within it, and also to reveal our conceptualizations about individual, about what is the group, and how we relate to each other, how we relate to the world, and perhaps also spark some kind of change in the way how we see and relate to them. And I'm really fascinated by ants. It's curious because after humans, they are in mass like the animals that most cover the planet. There are more than 18,000 different species in the world. So it's really, and of course their behavior, everything changes according to each kind of species. So they also have a sort of a multiplicity of different kinds of ants, just like we humans, we have a multiplicity between ourselves. and we struggle and we strive also to live together and to coexist. I think this is maybe one of the main global struggles of today. And so just speaking a little bit more about this first piece, this video is about like this collective sense that they share in the colony. I like to think about it, like I said, as the global effect between their own individual smells. And here I'm imagining, I'm projecting my own human view about individual ants, that they actually have individual smell, but within the colony or within the nest, maybe it doesn't matter, because it's much more about the community and how they can recognize each other and how they could also integrate what is different, what is a different smell into the colony. And I think this is already something that sparks some kind of a reflection about what is the individual and what is the collective. And in times of, we are surviving a global pandemic. And I think this is one of the things that we also had, like this friction between individual and collective interests, free will to choose what to do regarding something that is affecting the group as a whole. So the swarm for me is like this conceptual framework. So I use it precisely to unfold these different topics, and they are touching about our human concept. So in Western, especially Western culture, the role of the individual is pretty much the basis of our knowledge of what we learn and how we behave in relation to the world. Like, so another future that I explore is that social insects or swarms in general, they cooperate, they work together, and you don't have like a central power ruling or commanding. Although we as humans, we also tend to use language or to name, for instance, the queen ant or the queen bee, although they are not really ruling, or they are not the main power within the colony. This is interesting because, this is about also change our own culture to understanding nature, to understanding other species. And someone from the public told me something interesting on the other day, because this ant farm was exhibited recently. And I was talking to her and she told me, yeah, I understand your work like as something that show us how things are in a way, like in nature, and how we manage to live them as humans. And this is, so this is about the construction or the building of our culture and the way how we behave.
Thank you very much for this, thought-provoking artistic experiment, which really makes us reflect on non-centralized collective behavior in nature. And we probably have a lot to learn from ants. And also, I would like to invite everybody to follow the residency, because it's actually ongoing. So there are other contribution to it, and there is an upcoming one that will it will be released in the next week or so. So please follow the residency on our Instagram account. So Paula, would you like to add anything else before we move to Michaela? We have a few minutes more if you want.
No, I think it's yeah, it's fine. The questions will come later, maybe.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. And so now, Michaela, it's your turn. You're going to show us one video, the fourth video of the series Estée Lauder. So Estée Lauder is an Indian-born Myna bird who lives in the UK countryside, with whom you have been in conversation, Skype conversation since September 2015. So this is a long-term relation that has led to the creation of 4 video pieces. And each video of the series is formatted as a Skype conversation, obviously, and it had fallen between fiction and reality. And you're, in a way, trying to attend a shared language with a bird, or trying to find, I think, some way of communication and reconnect with it. So I don't know if you want to show us one of the video, and then we can maybe you can tell us a little bit more about the project in general.
Sure. So I will share the fourth video. Voilà.
Welcome to this guided hypnosis session. It's designed for helping you unlock your subconscious mind to become your ideal self and to empower your confidence. Just make sure you are in a comfortable position. No one will disturb you for the next few moments. And then just take a nice couple of deep, relaxing breaths. And as you listen to my voice, you can begin to notice that your shoulders are sinking down. Your neck is warm. Your mouth, your tongue are heavy and relaxed. You can feel the weight of your whole body sinking down deeper. Perhaps your mind beginning to wander now, but your subconscious mind is listening. It's listening carefully to everything that I say. I want you to focus on an object around you. You stare at it. Just allow it to occupy the center of your visual field. While you are staring at it, you can feel how your eye bags are heavy and dark, like if someone was digging into them. Deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. Now I'd like you to imagine that you're going to your special place. I don't know where this place is, but I know that it's a special place for you, where you can feel safe. It can be a place where you've already been in your life. It can be a real place, or it can be just a comfortable emptiness, a place you can make up in your mind right now. When I start counting from 3 down to 0, by 0, you'll be right there. By then, you will have entered a deep state of hypnotic rest. 3. Deeper with every number. 2. Deeper and deeper. 1. Twice as deep. 0. Shut the door behind you and you rest at the bottom of your mind. all famous personalistic. You have to reach for your attention. Control and powerful person. You enjoy speaking in puzzle. You are confident and relaxed. You have people's full attention. The leading job you are highly pessimistic, motivated. You are an inspiring person. You will reach your goals. You will be successful with it. Communication is the key to success. You can achieve anything you want to do. You control it. You can change it. If you live with it, it will go away. If you live with it, it will go away. You will feel impelled to repeat my words. On count of 3, you'll be ready. Awaken. Your mind will be fully awakened. Your mind will be so fully occupied with what you have to say that you will no longer be worried at all as to how to say it. 1, 2, 3.
So
Fantastic. It's always a pleasure to see Estée Lauder. Such a great work. Would you like to add something maybe about the relationship with the bird or on the project in general? This video was commissioned by the Serpentine Gallery, right? Yes.
It was commissioned for the first symposium of general ecology in 2018. It was about animal and language. So this is the 4th video, and it's the 4th of the series, and they all have the same format, which is this format of online tutorials or guided session. I started my conversation with Estée Lauder. Estée Lauder is a myna bird that has been rescued in India and then brought to UK, and she arrived in a box of Estée Lauder. That's why she's called Estée Lauder. So I started my private conversations with her in 2015. And as many of my works, I'm really interested in the process. So in activating processes and then seeing where they get me. So I started in 2015 and I was teaching her English. Of course, the relation on Skype, the interface was completely shaping our relationship. So the relation evolved, and from that I started doing like the 4 videos, which plays between fiction and reality, because they are based on our private conversation, where I was exactly teaching her English, or making her listen music, or experimenting with her and trying to find a shared language. The work in general explores the limits of language and the standards assumption of authority in language, in the sense that I was trying to reverse and shift perspective, trying to think from her perspective, and they are all different, the 4 of them. I was trying also to find similarities between my space and her space. So, for example, in one of them, I invited a dancer to dance live for Estée Lauder in my studio, and she was exploring the space, or like trying to draw the same space where Estée Lauder is living in this cage. And yes, of course, they also the video reflect on condition of captivity and confinement. But also I would say on online communication communities, because I'm very interested in communities online. That's why actually recently I've been commissioned to do the 5th and last videos from the series, which will be structured as a VR session, as a virtual reality session. I'm now collaborating. I started a collaboration with the VR lab in Germany and in Freiburg. So I will, because I'm more and more interested in how new technologies can intervene in human-animals relation, which is my general question, and how they can reroute, new technologies can reroute this relation and open up a new perspective. So I don't know yet what will be the VR session, but I'm starting to experiment just to bring her in virtual worlds and maybe find a space where we can finally meet together. So we will see.
Thank you, Michaela. We're very much looking forward to this next episode of Estée Lauder. And yes, I think it's crucial now to include, in a way, technology into these conversations, because of course it's there. It has been there for some time, and I think it's time to wrap it up now. So I would like to thank you, Paola and Michaela, for guiding us through your mind-blowing researches. And I think we have a lot to think about now. And we would like to, the 3 of us would like to thank the conference organizer again. And we will be also very happy to reply to any question related to these studio visits or to the projects also. So please submit them to Innovate for Cities, or get in touch with us directly via Translocalia Instagram account, or also via email. The email of Translocalia is very easy, so it's info@translocalia.com. So thank you once again for this fantastic video studio visit through your work. And bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.